The legal status of cannabis in the U.S. An informational blog post. The legal status of cannabis across the United States is a mixed bag. There are places in the U.S. where someone can go to jail for possession of marijuana, but right next door citizens can grow and consume marijuana anywhere on their property. Needless to say, this is an issue that has our country divided. You can find our interactive map of the legal status of cannabis in the U.S., and a few statistics, on our website. The link in the description below. Here are some current stats about the legal status of cannabis in the U.S. Fully legal states 19, medical only states 19, fully illegal states 7, CBD only states 6, decriminalized states 32. A brief history of cannabis legalization makes it clear why states are so split on the issue. Based on the archaeological evidence available, the earliest record of cannabis consumption was about 2,500 years ago. Cannabis was legal in the US for over 300 years as the Mayflower landed in Jamestown with hemp plants and seeds from England. Smokable strains were probably introduced through trade with Latin America and the Caribbean, who were tied to European nations with recreational and medicinal cannabis consumption. It wasn't until 1911 when the state of Massachusetts was the first to legally ban marijuana. The U.S. federal government didn't make cannabis illegal until the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. Several other laws were enacted that restricted the growth, possession, and consumption of cannabis products all the way into the 90s. Most notably, the federal government passed the Controlled Substances Act in 1970, which identified marijuana as a Schedule I drug alongside DMT, heroin, and MDMA. Fast forward to 1996 when California became the first state to legalize medical marijuana. In the following 5 years, there were an additional 8 states that passed medical marijuana legislation. Dozens of other states followed suit, creating the momentum needed for Colorado and Oregon to legalize recreational cannabis use in 2012. In 2014, the Rohrabacher-Farr Amendment effectively allowed 4 states to individually legalize and regulate cannabis without interference from the Justice Department. This major shift allowed for more cannabis research, helping us understand the health benefits we are aware of today. Currently 74% of the U.S. has legalized some form of cannabis consumption, with recreational use approved in 37% of the states. Each year additional legislation is passed as more states open up to the use of marijuana. Right now, the states most likely to fully legalize marijuana in 2022 are Arkansas, Florida, Maryland, Missouri, Oklahoma, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. The trend will continue until it is trumped by the coming regulations from the Food and Drug Administration, FDA. History has shown that the federal government is usually late to the party, but they always come. It is only a matter of time before the cannabis industry is legalized on a national level and under the watchful eye of the FDA. That will probably be a slow, complicated, and frustrating road. On the other hand, it will open the US up to a market that is involved in social issues, hires a growing number of employees, pays decent wages, and promotes an alternative health lifestyle. At the end of September, a key House committee passed the Marijuana Opportunity, Reinvestment and Expungement, MORE, Act. This institutes reparative measures for those negatively impacted by federal policies and protects banks who invest in the cannabis industry. You can't have FDIC monies and federal bonds supporting a federally illegal substance. This marks a major step in the federal government's movement toward legalization, though. There is also a bill that is being drafted for submission to the Senate for marijuana to be legalized at a federal level. The Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act's initial draft was released in July 2021 and is currently under final editing before it can be slated for a vote. Whether the current attempts at legalization are successful or not, many of the experts foresee the federal government legalizing marijuana in the next 3 to 7 years. It is becoming inevitable as the industry is projected to soar to $41 billion in sales by 2026. The general public also seems to be in favor of a federal legalization, as a recent study showed that 68% of American adults currently support the federal legalization of cannabis products. Those numbers are really compelling for federal government officials who would secure additional tax funding for the U.S. government, but also gain additional support of a growing number of American voters. Some of the categories covered in this blog were legal cannabis, recreational use, adult use, medical marijuana, federal regulations, state regulations, map, and stats.